Good morning. This is Lady Bill Bannon coming to you from my car in the great state of Texas. Thank you so much for joining me. It is 8:40 a.m. The kids have gotten on the bus, and I am looking forward to the rest of my day. Probably just going to go in and have a couple of muffins from a package and some apple juice. Yesterday, I fixed myself some protein pancakes and bacon, and that turned out pretty good. But I don't feel like making a mess in the kitchen again and doing all that work. I mean, it wasn't much work, but I just kind of want to get on with my day because today is a day that I go into the dentist after years of not being there. And I know there's a lot of work that I have to do with my mouth, and I'm kind of nervous about what they're going to say, but hey, I have an appointment to find out what's going on, and that's the first step. So while I have the ability to get my teeth looked at, I'm going to use it. So that is part of my self-care routine. I'm going to have to cut back on my little teas I've been getting from this Vietnamese cafe and tapioca tea place. They're so good, but they're also like $4 or $5. So I just need to budget a little bit more. So I'll be drinking more water. I might get me a tea today. Who knows? We'll see. Or maybe I'll save it for Friday. You know what? Yeah, I'll save it for Friday, and I'll just drink a lot of water today. Maybe get me like $1 tea or something. But anyway, so I want to get you guys up to speed. The last time the ex-husband messaged me on the Coparenting App was January the 30th. And this was after I had sent him a pretty mundane message in regards to the kids. And at the end of it, I had documented the fact that he had not checked the app in 15 days. So I had let him know that I was going to email him. I also invited him to tell me if he wanted to use something else and if he was having issues. So he said that there wasn't a problem with the app. It was just that he sometimes got notifications and other times he didn't. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even address that part. But I've since sent him some information about a father-daughter dance that's going on at our kid's school. No response. Now, when he last sent me a message, he said that he was going to start checking the app every day. Well, that was back on during the I was back on January the 30th that he said that, and it was February the 3rd around 2:48 a.m. that the app shows that he last saw messages. Now, I don't know if he actually read them, but that's when the app shows that he actually checked in, saw messages or whatever. So there you have it. It is, February the 6th today, and I sent him a message about the kids wanting to do more stuff and but I told him that I was interested in modifying the possession order since he worked, since he was only off on Wednesday nights and every other Tuesday nights. But, of course, there was no answer. He hasn't checked the app since February the 3rd. Now, I haven't gone on this morning to see if he's checked the app. But at this point, there's really no point. When I have to go in and add something to the calendar, that's when I'll go in and check. But it's pretty much a wrap. You know, this is all done to set the foundation that the ex is clearly not wanting to co-parent. The ex is clearly not wanting to communicate. Now, I know how I see it. I don't know how a court/judge is going to see it. But at this point, I'm over it. And a lesson has to be taught. I have tried to reach out to the ex-husband. I've given him a little wiggle room. I've invited him to let me know what he would like to do in lieu of picking the kids up when he normally would, when they would be available. Gave him some options. Haven't heard anything back from him. So, you know, that's just, I've known for a long time that he doesn't care about the kids and he doesn't love the kids. Because if you love the kids, you would be present for them in some form or fashion. And if it's just talking to them occasionally or sending gifts. It was on Christmas Day that he mentioned that he and the new supply wanted to give them Christmas gifts, but it's been over a month since that last conversation. It has been, 2 months since they spent any sort of quality time together. And prior to that, I think it was around a Halloween or something. So yeah, the time that he spends with them is getting further and further apart. That's not a bad thing, in my opinion. However, it's just unfortunate and it's sad. And I do my detective work, and I see that the news supply is still posting like everything is fine. She's very anti-Trump, as I've mentioned before, and as I've stated before, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that she tries to come off as this really progressive, socially liberal person, full of this outrage, but it's like fake outrage, because she's content to go along with the status quo in regards to the ex-husband. Now, maybe she's encouraged him to reach out to the girls, but I'm pretty certain that he probably tells her, oh, well, so-and-so, me, is going to nag me or say this to me. I just know she's la 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 la. So he has in his head how I am, and that's when he's actually paying attention to something other than whatever is going on, and that's usually when something is brought to his attention. But when he is not thinking about it, he could give a care less, I feel. He's working overnights and hopefully making his money because, we're going to have to go back to court. I tried to reach out to you, tried to set something up, and you're not communicating with me, so now we're about to communicate through the court. I will still use the Coparenting App to, utilize the calendar feature. It gives notifications. I'm going to still use the messaging feature when warranted, but I most definitely will be copying my messages to email, so there's no excuse for him to not be able to read my messages unless he has me blocked or something. But I figured I would get something back if he blocked my email. I'm not a tech whiz, so I don't know about that, but I don't know. I just don't know. About him, at least, and the new supply, and what this is all going to bring about. I had a discussion with the boyfriend last night and told him, I'm paraphrasing, you got to get ready to buckle up. I would disassociate myself from the ex-husband, because I know he's pretending to get along to get by, but that doesn't work. I know that for a fact. That's what I tried. I tried to be nice and kind and not be a bee and not present as spiteful and petty and bitter, but that didn't get me anywhere. All that did was just get me walked on and taken advantage of. So now I'm going to have to teach some lessons. There are folks out there who say that you shouldn't try to wrestle with a pig because the pig will get muddy and dirty, and the pig likes it. And when you square off with a pathologically narcissistic person, you can prepare for war, and if you're going to court with them, be prepared for things to go south or not to go in the way that you want them to. And I'm prepared for that. It's just that I just don't think that sitting and waiting is a reasonable option. The kids are not in a healthy environment when they are with the ex-husband and the new supply, and courts might see his way of parenting or non-parenting is just what he does. But when you allegedly put your hands on someone and you're getting so drunk that you're getting angry enough to put your hands allegedly on someone, then that's not cool, especially with kids present. I mean, if it was just the new supply's baby present, I would still be concerned, yes, but our kids were present in the home when all of this alleged domestic violence took place. So, yes, there you have it. There you have it. I'm going to go ahead and get on with the rest of my day. This is just really a quick little video to bring you guys up to speed with what's going on. I did want to put out there, I don't know how to phrase this. Have you guys seen what's been going on with Sarah Speaks? That's a channel that I followed, and I know she was supposed to reinvent her channel and her direction in life, and move away from talking about narcissism. But I didn't think her whole channel would be wiped. Like, I haven't seen it. I tried looking for it, and there's just no evidence that Sarah Speaks exists. So if you guys know what's going on with that, let me know. I hope she's okay. Anyway, this has been Label Ban. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to keep up with me, and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. This has been Label Ban. I'll talk to you soon.